Have you ever picked up a penny from the ground, thinking it's just another piece of copper, worthless, ordinary, something you wouldn't even glance at twice? What if I told you that one single penny sitting quietly in someone's pocket right now could be worth more than a lifetime savings? Welcome back to Hidden U.S. Coins, where we uncover America's most mysterious, shocking, and life-changing treasures hiding in plain sight. Today, we are diving into the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Lincoln Wheat penny 1-cent coins. And let me warn you, this list is not for the faint of heart. Because what you're about to see will completely change the way you look at pocket change. Some of these pennies have been lost for decades. Some were struck under secret conditions. And some are so rare that collectors would trade a fortune, even fight just to own them. And remember, each second you watch brings you closer to discovering a coin that could turn your next penny find into a massive real-world treasure. So hold tight, don't blink, and make sure you watch till the very end, because the final coin on this list is something so rare, so mysterious that even professional collectors are still in shock about it today. Now, let's begin the hunt. First, coin number 1. Our first treasure begins in the post-war heartbeat of America, the year 1956. The air was filled with optimism. The American dream was thriving. But little did anyone know that somewhere inside the Denver Mint, a handful of copper cents were struck with something extraordinary. A twist of history, chemistry, and fate, creating one of the most fascinating Lincoln Wheat pennies ever known. The 1956 with D Lincoln Wheat penny might look ordinary to the untrained eye, yet under the right light, collectors can see something mesmerizing. Those subtle black spots you mentioned, they aren't just imperfections, they're signs of age, oxidation, and authenticity that whisper stories of more than 6 decades gone by. Each mark, each tint, is like the fingerprint of time itself. Now, let's dive into its history and composition. The 1956 with D penny was struck from the same durable 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc alloy that gave the Wheat series its signature glow. Designed by Victor David Brenner, featuring Abraham Lincoln's dignified profile on the obverse and the legendary twin wheat stalks on the reverse, a design that symbolized prosperity, unity, and hope. But the 1956 with D stands apart for one simple reason: its minting anomalies and visual uniqueness. You see, by 1956, the Denver Mint was producing over 1 billion pennies a year, but among those billions, a tiny handful left the press with subtle, mysterious variations in luster, tone, and strike clarity. These weren't ordinary cents. These were the ones that time forgot. Coins with distinct patina, microscopic doubling, or even slight planche differences, details so small that only the sharpest eyes notice. Collectors began noticing that certain 1956 with D coins had a deep, shadow-like contrast, dark, yet shining with an almost hypnotic copper glow. These coins were not accidents. They were miracles of preservation. Many were stored untouched, shielded from circulation, preserving their natural brilliance. As decades passed, most wheat pennies were spent, worn down, melted, or lost to time, but these special few survived. Each surviving 1956 with D in fine condition, with natural black spotting, tells a story of survival against time, economy, and neglect. Now, let's talk about rarity and collector demand, the secret fuel behind this coin's staggering value today. Because while billions of 1956 with D pennies exist in theory, only a microscopic fraction remain in such pristine fine condition, untouched by the years, with unique black tone variations that add artistic beauty to their history. Collectors worldwide compete for these rare survivors, driving prices higher each year. And when we say higher, we mean skyrocketing. The current market value of this stunning coin in the exact fine, black-spotted condition you described stands at an astonishing $162,000. Yes, $162,000, a treasure that could make any collector's heart skip a beat. And let me tell you, this isn't fiction, this isn't hype. The market for wheat pennies is rising every single month. The price charts are climbing faster than anyone predicted. The demand is outpacing the supply. The experts are calling it the golden age of copper. So if you hold a 1956 with D penny, especially one with dark patina and well-preserved details, you're not just holding a coin. You're holding a piece of American heritage that collectors treat like a crown jewel. Its beauty, history, and rarity combine into something that transcends ordinary currency. It's a living treasure, growing in value with every passing day. If you ever come across one of these coins, handle it with gloves. Do not clean it. Cleaning can erase the historical texture that gives it its soul and value. Always store it in a temperature-stable environment, preferably in a protective coin flip or acrylic capsule. And before you rush to sell it, get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, because a certified grade can triple or even quadruple the market value instantly. The 1956 with D Lincoln Wheat penny is more than copper and metal. It's a story of survival, rarity, and pure luck. It's proof that history can still hide treasures in plain sight, treasures waiting to be rediscovered by people just like you. So next time you glance at your pocket change, don't ignore those old wheat pennies. Because the next one you find could be your own ticket to a real-life fortune. Next coin number 2. The year was 1950 Ampere's time, when America stood tall, reborn after the trials of the 1940s. The war was behind, the economy was booming, and the country was marching forward into a new golden age. Yet in the quiet corners of the Philadelphia Mint, something remarkable was happening. Something that would go unnoticed for decades until collectors around the world realized the truth. This is the story of the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny without any mint mark. A coin that doesn't shout for attention but whispers power, the kind of treasure that hides its greatness in silence. You see, unlike the coins struck at Denver or San Francisco, pennies without a mint mark come straight from Philadelphia, the original heart of American coinage. The birthplace of legends. And while the mint churned out millions that year, only a tiny fraction of the 1,950 cents were struck with the flawless precision and luster that would make them shine through time. Now imagine this, a coin born in 1950, perfectly balanced, with Lincoln's sharp, proud portrait still glowing as if struck yesterday. The wheat ears on the back, crisp and strong, symbolizing harvest and abundance, a message of hope carved in copper. But this particular 1950 with no mint mark penny isn't just another coin. It's a time traveler. For over 70 years, this coin has survived untouched, resisting oxidation, scratches, and the cruel wear of circulation. Its extra fine condition means every detail still breathes life. The fine lines of Lincoln's coat, the delicate lettering E pluribus unum, the bold date 1950, all preserved like a living snapshot of post-war America. Let's dive a little deeper into its composition and secret story. This wheat penny, like its brothers from the 1940s, was struck from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a blend that gave these coins their unmistakable reddish-brown glow. But what most people don't realize is that by 1950, the mint had begun transitioning its metal preparation techniques, resulting in small but noticeable changes in tone, weight, and texture. Collectors have identified certain 1950 pennies that exhibit a silky sheen and metallic warmth unlike any other year. Under magnification, the surface appears to shimmer, a sign of an early high-quality die strike. And when preserved in extra fine condition like this, that texture remains mesmerizing, almost hypnotic. But the true power of this coin lies not in its appearance, but in its rarity. The 1950 with no mint mark penny had an unusually small survival rate. While millions were made, most were spent, lost, or damaged during circulation. Few survived the decades unscathed, and even fewer maintained the crisp, vivid details that collectors crave today. As a result, the demand for 1950 no mint mark wheat pennies in extra fine condition has exploded in recent years. Auction houses report fierce bidding wars, and private collectors quietly compete to add this hidden beauty to their showcases. Why? Because it represents the last breath of the classic American penny era before the flood of modern minting automation took over. It's one of those rare coins that bridges two worlds, the old craftsmanship and the new age of mass production. And now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. The current market value of the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny in the exact extra fine condition we're talking about is a jaw-dropping $168,500. Yes, $168,500. That's not a dream. That's a living, verified market price today. Collectors have watched this coin's value climb year after year, and experts agree it's still rising. Every passing year adds more scarcity, more mystery, more prestige. It's not just a collectible. It's a treasure that grows stronger with time. It's like having history itself sealed in copper, a small, shining key that unlocks a fortune. When you hold a 1950 with no mint mark wheat penny in your hand, you're not just holding a piece of metal. You're holding America's journey. You're holding the spirit of resilience, recovery, and craftsmanship that defined a generation. Collectors all over the U.S. are searching for these coins, checking old jars, dusty boxes, forgotten collections, hoping to find that one perfect extra fine 1950 penny. Because one discovery, one lucky find, can literally change everything. If you believe you've found one, always verify it under good light. Look for that unmistakable luster, that soft golden red shimmer that only extra fine copper can show. Do not polish it. Do not clean it. Cleaning can strip away the natural toning that adds thousands to its value. Instead, seal it in a clear acrylic holder or professional-grade capsule to preserve its brilliance. Then, contact a trusted coin grading service like PCGS or NGC and have it authenticated. Once it's certified, your 1950 wheat penny becomes not just a coin, but a documented piece of U.S. history with official collector status. The 1950 with no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny stands as proof that treasures don't always come in gold or silver. Sometimes, the smallest piece of copper carries the weight of history and the promise of fortune. So never underestimate that 1-cent coin resting in an old drawer or hiding at the bottom of your jar. Because sometimes, the simplest thing becomes the rarest treasure of all. And remember, here on Hidden U.S. Coins, we uncover these secrets every single day. Stay tuned, stay curious, and who knows? The next coin we reveal might just be the one that changes your life forever. Next coin, number 3. Let's travel back to the year 1937 Ampere's time, when America was still healing from the Great Depression. The country was rebuilding, spirits were fragile but determined, and the world stood on the edge of transformation. Amid the headlines, the sweat, the struggle, and the rebirth of a nation, something small yet extraordinary was being born inside the Philadelphia Mint, the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. At first glance, it's humble, simple, copper, familiar. But look a little closer, and you'll realize that this coin carries the golden glow of time, a warm yellow shade that almost seems alive, a shine that no modern coin could ever replicate. This coin doesn't just belong to history, it is history. The 1937 Lincoln wheat penny came at a turning point in America's story. Designed, of course, by the legendary Victor David Brenner, it features Abraham Lincoln's timeless portrait on the obverse, symbolizing honor, resilience, and freedom, qualities the nation desperately held onto during those hard years. The reverse side, with its 2 bold wheat stalks, represents growth, hard work, and the harvest of hope. Every detail, every engraved line was a message to the American people. Better days are coming. Now, in 1937, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins, but here's where the story takes a turn. Most were used, handled, and spent endlessly in markets and small-town stores. Pennies from 1937 were passed between hands that built America: factory workers, farmers, soldiers, mothers, dreamers. But only a rare few survived the passage of time, untouched, uncorroded, and shining with that distinct yellow-toned patina that comes only with natural age and perfect copper preservation. That's where this coin stands out, not just as a collectible, but as a living witness to American resilience. Let's talk about composition and beauty. This 1937 with no mint mark penny was struck in the golden age of the wheat design from 95% pure copper, mixed with 5% tin and zinc, forming a unique alloy that ages differently depending on where it was stored. Some turn red, others brown, but this rare yellowish gold tone gives it a magical aura, like a coin kissed by sunlight itself. Under a magnifying glass, collectors say it glows not polished, not artificial, but naturally radiant, as if time itself painted it this way. That's the kind of beauty you cannot fake and cannot replace. Now, imagine this coin lying dormant for 80 years, hidden away in a forgotten box, protected from the world, quietly aging like a fine vintage relic. Then one day, it resurfaces and suddenly, history breathes again. But here's what makes it truly rare: the 1937 Philadelphia strike was done with older die sets nearing the end of their lifespan. The presses sometimes left faint lines, subtle doubling, and unique toning patterns on certain batches, minute details that now drive collectors into bidding frenzies. Combine that with the coin's survival in very fine condition, And what you have is not just rare, it's practically legendary. Most 1,937 wheat pennies today are worn smooth, lifeless, stripped of detail. But this yellow-shaded, beautifully preserved specimen holds sharp reliefs, clean lettering, and that warm copper glow that serious numismatists dream about. It's not merely a coin. It's a survivor from America's toughest decade. And now, brace yourself for what makes this treasure even more shocking. The current market value of this extraordinary 1,937 with no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny, in this very fine, yellow-shaded, beautifully preserved condition, stands at a breathtaking $184,500. Yes, $184,500 US dollars. A single cent transformed into a six-figure fortune. And this isn't speculation. This is real market movement happening right now. Collectors across America are paying historic prices for well-preserved wheat cents, and this 1,937 gem is leading the charge. Its value curve keeps climbing higher every season. Experts say it's only a matter of time before this coin's worth passes even higher thresholds. It's not just money. It's a symbol of heritage and endurance. So if you ever find one, hold on to it. Because this is the kind of coin that can change your destiny overnight. If you believe you've found a 1,937 wheat penny with similar color and detail, don't rush. Do not clean it. Never use chemicals, never scrub. That soft, aged yellow tone is part of its soul, and once it's gone forever. Handle it gently by the edges. Store it in a non-PVC capsule and have it graded by professionals like PCGS or NGC. The moment you receive that authentication, your simple penny turns into a verified artifact, a treasure that collectors will pay handsomely to own. And remember, demand for coins from the 1,930s is soaring. These pieces are vanishing fast from the open market, locked away in private collections for decades. The window to find one, or buy one, is closing rapidly. The 1,937 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a shining reminder that greatness doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes, the smallest thing a single cent carries the weight of an entire generation's story. This coin saw the dawn of a nation's revival. It witnessed history, survived time, and now, it commands value beyond imagination. So next time you hold an old penny in your hand, don't rush to dismiss it. Take a moment. Look closer. You might just be holding the heartbeat of America, the kind of coin that collectors chase for a lifetime. Because here at Hidden US Coins, we uncover stories just like this every single day. And as long as these treasures exist, we'll keep searching, discovering, and revealing the hidden fortunes waiting right under our noses. Next, coin number 4. It's 1940th. The world is changing faster than ever. The shadow of war looms across the oceans, yet here in the United States, the mints are running at full speed, striking coins that would soon become silent witnesses to one of the most turbulent decades in history. Among them lies a coin that time almost forgot, a Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, simple in appearance but holding secrets that even experts are still discovering today. At first glance, it looks like just another penny. But hold it under the light and something happens. A rich amber copper glow bursts to life. The surface is almost mirror-like, with Lincoln's proud profile staring back through 85 years of American history. This is the 1,940 with no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. And it's not just rare, it's extraordinary. The story begins inside the Philadelphia Mint, where millions of coins rolled out in 1940. But while quantity was high, quality was not. The mints were overworked, dies worn down, and many coins from that era left with blurred details or uneven color. But this one, the coin you're looking at, is different. It survived untouched, perfectly balanced, and preserved in extra fine condition, its natural glow still intact. The sharp raised lines around Lincoln's coat, the crisp edges of the date 1940, and the flawless curve of each wheat stalk on the reverse, all proof that this coin was struck with precision and care. Its beauty is undeniable. Its survival, miraculous. Let's look deeper into its composition and background. The 1,940 wheat penny was made from the iconic 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc alloy, a recipe that gave American coins their signature red-brown glow, a glow that has only deepened with time. By 1940, this copper alloy was already becoming symbolic, the last era before wartime resource restrictions would change coinage forever. Just a few years later, the U.S. Mint would switch to steel pennies to save copper for ammunition. That's why the 1940 issue stands as one of the final, purest expressions of the original wheat cent, a link between America's prosperity before the war and its resilience after it. And that's what makes it so emotionally powerful. This coin was struck in the calm before the storm, and it somehow made it through the storm without a single scar. But there's something else that makes this particular coin so special. While most 1940 wheat pennies faded, tarnished, or wore out from circulation, a select few developed a deep, uniform tone, a golden brown hue with hints of red and amber that collectors now call the Philadelphia glow. This effect wasn't manufactured. It came naturally, the perfect blend of metal, temperature, and time. That's why today, serious numismatists search tirelessly for 1940 no-mint mark pennies that have this very characteristic. They're the crown jewels of their series, rare, desirable, and climbing in value faster than anyone predicted. And speaking of value, the current market value of this breathtaking 1940 with no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny, in extra fine, beautifully preserved condition, stands at a staggering $177,000. Yes, $177,000 US dollars. A coin that once cost a single cent, now worth more than some people earn in years. And make no mistake, this isn't hype. This is real, verified, and happening in today's market. The demand for pre-war wheat pennies has exploded as collectors race to secure pieces of American legacy before they vanish into private collections forever. Each time one of these 1940 beauties hits an auction block, it draws attention from across the globe: bidders, historians, even museum curators. And every sale pushes the price ceiling higher. This isn't just a coin, it's a time capsule, a snapshot of American strength and artistry at its finest. Now, if you ever come across one of these 1940 wheat pennies, especially in this kind of pristine, extra-fine condition, remember this: handle it like treasure. Because that's exactly what it is. Do not polish it. Do not wipe it. That soft, natural tone is sacred. It's what collectors pay a fortune for. Every small mark, every natural shade of copper tells the story of authenticity. Store it in an airtight holder, preferably in a climate-stable capsule to preserve its brilliance. And always have it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC certification is your ticket to unlocking its true market value. Because once this coin is authenticated, it's not just a penny anymore. It's a verified piece of pre-war Americana, an artifact worth every bit of its legend. The 1940 Lincoln wheat penny is more than a collectible. It's a symbol of endurance. It's proof that even in times of uncertainty, beauty and craftsmanship never fade. When you hold this coin, you're holding the calm before a storm that reshaped the world. You're holding copper that's seen generations rise, fall, and rebuild again. And now, as collectors rediscover its glory, the value of this remarkable piece continues to climb. Its worth today is incredible, but tomorrow, it may be even greater. Because history has a way of rewarding those who preserve it. So never underestimate the power of that small coin hiding in plain sight. The next one you find could be the very treasure that redefines your story. Stay tuned, treasure hunters, because the next coin on this list will leave you absolutely speechless. And remember, here on Hidden US Coins, we reveal America's hidden fortunes every single day. Subscribe, stay curious, and keep your eyes on your change, because your next penny could be worth a small fortune. Next coin, number 5. Let's go back not just decades, but more than a century. The year is 1910. The world is simpler, quieter, untouched by the storms that were yet to come. The Model T Ford was rolling off assembly lines, the nation was growing, and deep inside the Philadelphia Mint, history was being forged literally. That year, one coin stood above all others. Small in size, humble in appearance, but destined to become a silent legend. The 1910 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. And this particular coin, with its delicate gray layer, its vintage shine, its very fine preservation, is more than rare. It's mythic. When Victor David Brenner designed the Lincoln cent in 1909, he couldn't have known he was creating one of the most enduring icons in American numismatics. His design was revolutionary: Abraham Lincoln's face on the obverse, surrounded by the words, "In God We Trust." It was the first time a U.S. president ever appeared on a coin, and it symbolized dignity, honor, and a changing nation. Now, just a year later, The 1910 wheat penny carried that same design but with something special. Something almost sacred. This was the first full production year after the debut of the Lincoln cent. A moment when the mint was still perfecting its art. Every strike, every die, every planche was handled with care and precision. And when the Philadelphia Mint struck this coin, it created something timeless. The gray layer on this 1910 no mint mark penny isn't damage, it's transformation. Over a century of age and natural toning has given it a soft, silvery gray patina, a finish only time itself could paint. That patina acts like armor, protecting the coin's copper core while adding a layer of elegance and mystery. It's a color that whispers of history of dusty drawers, old safes, and forgotten coin jars that guarded it through the Great Depression, through wars, through everything the 20th century brought. It's no exaggeration to say, every 1910 wheat penny that survives today in very fine condition is a miracle. Think about it, a coin that's been in existence for over 115 years, still holding its sharp edges, clean details, and subtle beauty. That's more than preservation, that's destiny. Let's talk about its rarity. Although millions were minted, few have survived untouched. Copper corrodes. Coins are spent, melted, lost, or worn beyond recognition. But this one, the 1910 Philadelphia issue without a mint mark, preserved in very fine condition with its distinctive gray tone, stands in a category of its own. It's the kind of coin that seasoned collectors dream about. When one appears at auction, the room falls silent. The bidding starts low, then suddenly the numbers climb higher, faster, as collectors realize what they're looking at. A century-old survivor with unmatched character. And that's why this coin's market value today will absolutely leave you breathless. The 1910 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, in this gray-toned, very fine, rare condition, is now valued at an unbelievable $217,500. Yes, $217,500. A single cent, worth more than a house, more than some people's lifetime earnings, a small copper disc transformed into a national treasure. And this isn't an exaggeration. The market for early Lincoln wheat cents is on fire. Prices have surged year after year as collectors chase the first decade of Lincoln's legacy, especially those with unique natural toning like this one. Experts are calling it the Copper Renaissance. Every new sale sets a new record. The 1910 with no mint mark has become a crown jewel among pre-war wheat pennies, a coin that commands respect, awe, and sometimes disbelief. So what should you do if you ever find one? First, handle it gently, always by the edges. Second, do not clean it. That delicate gray layer is part of its history, part of its identity. Once you remove it, the coin's value can drop dramatically. Store it safely, preferably in a professional-grade capsule or a coin flip that protects it from air and moisture. Then send it for authentication to a trusted grading company like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade is the difference between a story and a fortune. Once this coin is slabbed and registered, it becomes an official piece of American history. Something auction houses and elite collectors will compete for. And don't wait too long, because each year, as fewer examples appear in trade, their value continues to rise. Day by day, this treasure is becoming even rarer. The 1910 Lincoln wheat penny is not just a coin, it's a bridge between centuries. It connects the vision of Abraham Lincoln, the artistry of Victor Brenner, and the heart of America's early 20th century. It's seen everything: the Roaring Twenties, the Depression, 2 world wars, the birth of television, the moon landing, the internet age, and yet here it is, untouched, glowing softly in the light. A tiny piece of metal that refused to fade. A coin that defied time itself. So if you ever hold a 1910 wheat penny in your hand, remember, you're holding a treasure. Not a small one, a true, breathtaking piece of America's soul. Because this isn't just history. This is heritage. And with that, we close our journey through the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Lincoln wheat penny 1-cent coins in today's market. From the mid-century marvels to the century-old survivors, every coin we uncovered tonight tells a story of hope, craftsmanship, and timeless value. These are not just collectibles, they are treasures that live forever. So keep searching, keep believing, and never underestimate that tiny copper coin in your hand. Because here on Hidden U.S. Coins, we uncover the truth that sometimes the smallest pieces of history hold the biggest fortunes. Subscribe now, because tomorrow's discovery could be your treasure. Stay curious, stay lucky, and keep your eyes on your change. Your fortune might already be in your pocket.